So my screen is visible to everyone.
Sir.
Okay, thank you. I think last class we were discussed about. Shall I start the class? I think half of them came. So I will start before giving a brief introduction about the previous class. Then everyone is going to be joining. By that we will start the today's session. Okay. So last class we were discussed about we have a 3 V's of big data. The 3 V's are one is volume, and second one is variety, and third one is velocity. So 3 V's are there: volume, variety, and velocity. So we already discussed about the both two, and this velocity also we discussed. For this we discussed about the drip from a fire hose. One example also is about this. And this mainly about the last point where we have sensor data, how it is going to be given with the health system. We were discussed, and for that we were discussed one simple example with how the Apple data saves 179 age human. So that also we were discussed, and this is the variety of data. So this was we were stopped I think in the last class. So what is this variety of data? Why want to take, and why we want to specify the variety of data? So generally we have the data. Generally, we data means we conclude that in a computer point of view, the zeros and ones are the data. Once we are going to be talking about zeros and ones data, but who is going to be create this data means we have a clear idea about humans are going to be create the data. Once the humans are going to be create the data, is that humans are going to be create the data all times in a same pattern or a same manner or a same type of data is going to be produced. For example, I have a mobile with some type of apps. Somebody have a mobile with some other types of apps. If the different types of apps are there, if the apps are going to be detect the data from the outside is different. For example, I have a sensor in my mobile. For example, I have various sensors are available in mobile. I think you know very well about are various types of sensors are available. If the sensors are available, then if the sensors are getting the different types of data, sometimes it is, for example, my mobile is fully charged. If it is charged fully, it is giving a temperature sensor will give your mobile is too much high temperature. Please cool down or please remove your battery. Automatic some alerts will come. So such type, what type of data is going to be getting? So some heat. It is how we are going to be calculating the heat. How we can calculate the heat? So it may be a Fahrenheit or Celsius based upon the temperature sensing. We can say that the percentage of heat is there. That's why we are going to be cool down the system. That's for example, if I am going to be walking through GPS, I am going to be on. I am going to be walking. So we need to calculate the distance in meters or centimeters or kilometers. See that the type of data is very different. So that's why only again the data again it is not going to be a structured or unstructured. How it will? For example, if I am going to be sending a mail, can anyone say that everyone using a mail for only texting purpose? Is not like that. So through the mail we can send a messages, images, and videos, WhatsApp, whatever it may be, WhatsApp messages, whatever it may be, messages we can send a different type of format also. So that's why roughly 95% of all big data is unstructured, meaning it does not fit easily into the straightforward traditional mode. Everything from mails, videos, and scientific and meteorological data can constitute a big data stream, each with their own unique attributes. Again, every data has a unique attribute. By that only we can, for example, we just now we discussed about how we can calculate the temperature. So some Fahrenheit and Celsius we have. So that is some unique attribute you can. For example, distance. How we are going to be calculating distance? Meters or centimeters. So we have every some unique attributes are there to justify the particular data. So see that we already discussed these examples in the first chapter. So even though the meanwhile we need to discuss while we are going to be talking about this big data. Yeah. So what is this big data examples we have? Personalized e-commerce shopping experience, how we are going to be using e-commerce websites and then shopping experience. And another one, financial marketing model. So how we are going to be use marketing, financial marketing, as we are going to be deal with the management subject also. There we will talk about. We want to create in a budget. If we want to create in a budget, what we want, we need to analysis the previous year, how was the budget, how much we were calculated for each part, and what the better suggestions to take for the next year, how we need to prepare the budget. So we want to see that where we got something fault with the previous budget, that everything is going to be analyzed and we have to modify it and we have to finalize. So that is a big data. Then compiling trillions of data points and speed up the centers for research. So we already saw that we have data. How the big data is going to be calculated? Can anyone? Based on which type of data the big data is going to be stored? Zettabyte and petabytes, the big data is going to be stored. So if the volume of data is very high, so how it is going to be used in a better manner? That is compiling the trillions of data points. So where we are going to be stored these data, we have a different points are there. Then media recommendations from streaming services like Spotify, Hulu, and Netflix. These are the videos. Just we are saying the Amazon Prime like that. So like that we have so many videos. How it is going to be streamed? Is that one person is going to be see at the one time? No, there we going to be number of persons are going to be joining and number of persons are going to be stream the same thing. For example, today we have a simple general we know. For example, we have a dish TV, whatever it's something, either maybe Airtel or whatever dish TV. So is that everyone getting the same channel at the same time? If the streaming is problem, the whole systems, whole clients will be get affected. If your side, for example, in your side, streaming is problem, is that stream is going to be stopped for you? No, remaining all other streams are going to be set properly. Once your stream is get back into your work, from where it is stopped from, it leaves. Now present the streaming is where from there it's so it started. It is not going to be used where it is stopped. If it is going to be like that, it is not going to be a live stream. You can simply keeping something in a pen drive and we can watch it. So that's why I think in the starting of these dish TVs are came into a setup box time. They gave so we have pen drive option in setup box. Once we miss the channels, it is automatically recorded. You can watch it later. So various advantages. Then prediction, crop yield, and for the farmers. How to predicting? How to predicting? For example, this year we are crop this particular seeds. So how it is going to be? What is the time of getting crop, and what is the time of some diseases is going to be affected based upon the timings. It may be a rainy season or it is a winter or whatever it may be. Based upon the seasons, how it is going to be affected the crop. Then how it is going to be washed. At what time we need to fertilize the fertilized to the field, and at what time we need to take the samples, and everything we need to analysis and predict. I think we have some formatic apps are there. You can see that in app they will give so how many days that crop is going to be come, and what are the predictions we have to take, and what are the what type of insects will going to be happen. Then if the insects is going to be happen, what type of fertilizers we need to apply. Everything is going to be. Then analyzing the traffic patterns to lessen the consistency in the cities. So this we already solved in travel salesman problem. Have you heard the word travel salesman problem? Have you heard the word? So where it is? What is the background concept of travel salesman problem? So that is simple. We have a minimum spanning. So one person is going to be reach all the cities. He is to calculate before which city he has to reach, and there is a backtracking concept and there is a divide and conquer. Various concepts are going to be included, but the person is going to be select the path which is going to be optimized. That is a minimum. A minimum time he has to reach all the cities. The same thing is going to be applied here. Traffic patterns in the cities, and the data tools recognizing the retail shopping habits and optimal product placement. What is this shopping habits? Shopping habits. So everyone, I think, please, if I have pen and paper, you can please note down. I will give one word, and we can search that word, and we can say that what you observe from Black Friday. This is the thing, Black Friday. So everyone note down. So what are the things you can learn from this? You can Google it and you can search from our newspapers, whatever it may be. You can go with that Black Friday. Then you have your comments, please post in Google Classroom. Let's we can discuss there. This is a one type of shopping also. So we will discuss in the next class based upon your interaction there. That is. So then, what is the shopping habits? Everything. For example, how the peoples are going to be do the shopping. So again, sir, again, what are the examples we are saying? How it is going to be related to our big data? I think we may have a doubt here. That's why I voluntarily take a point to again saying this why we have gone to this. We already said that big data is a problem. So what is the problem is we have a large amount of data. The data is there. So how we are going to be use it for user's sake? So it will be a structure and unstructured, whatever it may be data. How we are going to be use the data into the user point of view in a better manner. For that we will apply some data mining concept and some all those data stream we are going to be storing data warehouse, all those things we have. So and one more thing is we have data is there. We done something mining concept, we were storing a data warehouse. If everything is there, the concept here is how we want to use the data in a better manner. A simple example, we have a cold storage. Why we want to store the goods in the cold storage? Can anyone answer? Why we want to store the goods in the cold storage? For example, the simple in a farmer point of view, we can say that the farmer is getting very less amount while they are going to be selling. So because in markets, lot of that goods are available in the market. If I'm sending also, it's going to they're going to be asked less cost only. So if I am going to be stored for 1 year in godams, what is going to be happen next year when the the commodity is going to be occur. That time I'm going to be release. I can release with a minimum optimal cost. Yes, sir. We are storing the purpose of our next year or next generation, whatever it may be. We are not going to be stored for the goods for generations, for the next years. So if we are storing like this, if the same, we have a large amount of data, enormous large amount of data is going to be storing, then what we can do, how we can be useful for our business. Let's just see the last point what we are. Data tools are recognizing the retailer shopping habits. What is the meaning of habit? For example, daily I'm going to be wake up at 5 o'clock, and daily I'm going to be do walking 1 hour. For example, this is my habit. Then what is shopping habits? So the persons who are oftenly is buying such type of products, which type of products? Again, they are going to be divided into different kinds. How we do it? For example, maybe I'm going to be take the parameter as a age. If I'm taking age, so age 10 to 15 years persons are, what are the types of products is going to be uh, searching in the shopping sites? Are 15 to 20 age, what type of products are searching? At 30 to 40, 40 to 50, some age calculations we are going to be take, and we are going to be deal with how they are going to be have a habit of shopping. Or else generally the area wise, for example, in area, not only area, we can say that seasons first, a rainy season or winter season or summer season. Again, we have a parameter is seasons. So, for example, in winter season we have a habit of wearing sweaters. So that is the business we need to identify. Then we need to launch. That time we launched some cool items. Is that everyone is going to be buy it? See that in general our areas, some peoples are going to be open these milks, badam milk and everything in a summer season. When in winter season it come, they are going to be closed the shops. So that is so the persons, the business analytics are going to be identify that which type of uh, shopping, which type of products it has to launch in which time. So they are going to be calculate some parameters, and based upon the parameters they are going to be used. Then the big data helps the sports teams maximize their efficiency and balance. So how the sports analysis, this was a best example. We were starting itself, we talk about these big data. So one person's when how many ODIs is played, how many matches is done, how many centuries is done, how many 50s is done, in which place he played most of the matches, and how he was performed, whether performance is very normally or abnormal, or he needs to improve. So everything is going to be analyzed. So while we are watching TV, we are not going to be watch cricket for 24 hours. In the sitting in ground, it is entirely, we don't have any advertisements. If I'm sitting in front of TV, what every hour we are going to be getting advertisements. Or else, for example, something is going to be happening with in the crowd. They are not going to be shown that. They are going to be shown, as a particular person is playing his career, his ODI in this particular match, how many balls he was played, how many dot balls are there. Everything is going to be shown in a graphical way. So by that easily we can understand that. Even though people don't know how to read in English, they can easily understand by that how many balls are there. For example, putting some white lines, the dot balls in black color, something they are going to be use attraction to users to view them. So that's only nowadays the mobile phones are very popular. Means that's why even though don't know about any, even though they are don't know how to read the things, they can easily manage that mobile. Even my mother, simple example, my mother, she don't know how to put a sign also, but she used to operate an Android mobile. So that's why even if my sister also, she don't know how to type the English. That's why she is simply using a voice. Okay Google. They are going to be using Okay Google. They are going to be searching for how to cook a particular product. So everything they are going to be optimized. So that is the thing. So recognize the trends in education habits from the individual students and schools and districts. So how it will be, for example, now I am going to be giving a lecture to, for example, in numbers and nearly 84 members are watching here. So this is one to many conversation. Once we can come to our Google Classroom, LMS, what is going to be happen? We can talk about individual, one person to one person conversation. Every person who are here, we can going to be deal with all the persons in school. Everything, so how we can see everything. So that is various examples of this big data. Then this is about the first part of working with the big data. How we want to work with the big data. That is our second unit place. So what is this Google file system? So we are going to be talking about we have a big data, big data. So one of the Google big data is about Google. If we're going to be talk about Google, we know something data. Why we are going to be specifically talk about Google means everyone is familiar with this big data. Why means everyone using a Gmail, everyone using some mails sending from one to another. So everyone is familiar with Google Photos. Everyone is familiar with Google Drive. Everything is, that's why they are including this Google file system here. So wait for 1 minute. I am going to be sharing it again. Something error message is showing. That's why I start here. Now my screen is visible. So can please someone respond? My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So why we want to build a Google file system? What is this Google file system? So file, we have again file means we have a data. So how we want to access the Google file system? Means why we need to do no failure happen quickly. No failures happen. If one node is going to, for example, if I am going to be use my laptop, okay. So my laptop contains a lot of data. If something happened with my laptop, so something it is burned, something it is operating system failed, something is happened. What is going to be happening? I am going to be lost my whole data. Listen. So why we want to store all those things in cloud means there is no concept of no failure. So everything I am going to be stored in the cloud. If you want to access the cloud, no need to use that cloud in your particular mission only. We can use any other mission which is enable internet facility and browser facility or any cloud platforms are there also we can easily. If something you can store in your system, if something is problem with your system, your data is going to be lost. Listen. For example, if my system, for example, I am in normal mode, if something may happen with my system, is the power fail come. So my system is going to be stuck. What? So other 84% are going to be suffer with this class. So that's only when the node failures are happen frequently, that's only the Google file system was created. Still now we are in free users of Google. Son, your Gmail is giving a 15 GB of free. How many of them used clearly, fully about that 15 GB? You know? You know about that? Google is giving 15 GB of free cloud services. So once we have a n number of messages of mail system, definitely it is going to be filled, and definitely we want to buy a data from the Google. Up to now, everyone, I think so, who are connected with these class, everyone is using a free Google service. Nobody is not going to be free. Even if you want to use, if the 15 GB is over, what you are going to do? Simply you are going to be create another Gmail. Even if I was stored nearly 10 GB of photos, so that's why I was created another Gmail, shifting my photos into. So that if something happened, if for example my system all photos will go. For example, I have all the photos in Google. What is going to be? I can see in other systems also when I used to give some username and password credentials. Then I can access my photos anywhere. So that is that's why the Google file systems were created. Then files are huge. Files are huge, multi-GB. So we have again we were talking about big data. It is the size of files are very high. So that's why these Google file system came into picture. Then most files are modified by the appending at the end. What is this appending? Can anyone say that what is the meaning called appending? I need one word answer. No need explanation. Please one word answer. By that you have to understand that what is this. So if you heard that word in means with the line itself we have an answer also again. We can easily say
Adding data at the end.
Addition, sir.
adding. So we have a concept of add also, but we have a calling as appending means the data, new data is going to be entered at the end of the file. So once the file is created, every data is going to be added at the end. So that is it. So very good. Thank you for your response. Very good. Then random writes and overwrites. That is maybe so partially non-existent. So something files we are still continuously reading and writing. For example, we already said that we want to do daily. For example, if I give a task, so every day I need how many of them present, how many of them please monitor, and every day you can send me the data. If I assign one person, what do you have to do? Every day he has to open his WhatsApp and he has to, sir, today these members are absent. These members are absent. He has to send everyday data. For example, for that I will create one Google file, a Google Docs, something I was shared. He shared to me. He no need to send it, sir. Once we have a communicate. Once the class is finished, within 1 hour, 2 hours, I am going to be updating it, sir, every day. So no need to ask every time. I'm directly going to see that Google form. Okay, he is opening in his side. He's going to be doing it, and he's going to be closing. In my side, I'm going to be seeing. So see that in the last time I asked you how many of them you have having laptop, how many of them you are cleared with. So no need to asking everyone. Yes, number one, are you clear with one? Number two, are you clear? Each and every time number of questions you start asking. I'm going to be creating one Google form and I'm going to be sending. So no need to respond. I'm going to be asking each and every time. Simply I'm going to be read from the Google form. So I don't want to disturb all of you. So somebody, one or two persons said, sir, I am something difficult. So I need to talk with them and we need to solve the problem with them instead of disturbing all others. So that is random writes. Then another one, high sustained bandwidth is more important than the low latency. So we need a high band is more important rather than low latency. So what it is, how it will be. For example, if in your place Geo is consuming very high bandwidth for listening classes, you are going to use Geo. Geo is, for example, maybe a 400 around per 1 month cost. So same data They are going to be due for 300, but with a low bandwidth. Are you going to be buy? So based upon your usage, you need to find your bandwidth to how to access the files. That is a more important instead of the low latency. Then place and more priority on processing data in bulk. So that what is the bulk of data you are going to be accessing? What is this bulk? Bulk means we have a large number. Large number is available. So how to process this one? Again, the priority of processing. What is the meaning called priority? Priority means what is the meaning called priority? Have you heard the word priority? Priority scheduling also there. In operating system, we have a priority scheduling.
Important wise giving.
Giving some priority, giving some something we have a parameter to giving the first chance. So maybe about his average time, maybe about his burst time. For example, if I'm going to be talking about a concept of operating system, I'm going to so maybe about burst time or average time, any one parameter I'm going to be considering. Based upon that, I'm going to be take this. Okay, I'm going to be consider this parameter. For example, how we want to select for an interview. So first parameter is everyone having 70 percentage of attendance, or everyone having their 70 percentage throughout academics, 70 percentage. So everything that the parameter I'm going to be. Once the parameters are going to be defined, we can find the group to, that is, we can processing the bulk of data to easy how we can order. For example, we have 60 members. I ask you to answer everyone. So which order I have to answer? So if you answered all of you at the same time, I cannot listen what you say. For example, if I am giving a priority according to your roll number, you can say the answer. So I have a priority, then see that I can process all of your data one by one easily. So that is about the why we want to create a Google file system. Then what are the workloads on Google? There is a two kinds of reads. One will be a large string reads and the other one is a small random reads. Small random reads or else a large stream reads. What is this two means? The large streaming reads usually reads 1 MB or more. 1 MB or more. So streaming is a simple example. Streaming is means continuous data we need to, for example, we are going to be talk about live streaming. What is the live streaming? What is offline? Offline also we can cover it is a streaming. Again, online streaming, offline streaming. Again, both time also we need some streaming. For example, in YouTube you are going to be see the videos. Something is a online, that is live events are there. Offline events are there. What is the difference? So both are streaming. Once in your part you are going to be click to play, then definitely it is going to be streamed. Byte to byte it is going to be streamed and the data is going to be processed. Byte to byte it is going to be processed. That's why the bits is going to be transferred to one place. Some how the current is going to be from, the following of neutrons and electrons. The same way here also we need to process everything. The bytes of data is going to be so if the data is read 1 MB and more, then it is called a large string. Oftentimes the applications reads through the continuous regions in the file. So how we are going to be read continuous. Again, it is a continuous reading. The small reads usually is a few KBs at some arbitrary offsets also. So here we need to remember is large and small streams of data. The largest streams means the size may be 1 MB more, and the small stream means it is KB, kilobytes. That is megabytes and this kilobytes of data. We are going to use. So our Google file system is going to be work on both also. So it's also many large sequential writes that are appending on the files, appends the data files, sequential. So what is similar operation size to read? Similar operation size to read. Once written, the files are seldom modified again. The small writes at arbitrary access do not have to be inefficient. So these are the very important typical workloads on these Google file system. So everything is simple manner means instead of touching the low level boundaries, we are going to be talk about the high level, high range of data. If the data points are there, the data nodes are there, or else we can have some type of viewable or graphical data is available. How these data in a base points, how it is going to be generated. So where we need to store all those things. So is that Google data is going to be created by only Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google? He is going to be create all the Google data. For example, he is a CEO. He is going to be create all the Google data, or else he is storing all the Google data in his home, or else he is going to be store all the Google data in his office. No, not like that. So he is going to be organized. Again, again is going to be organized. He can access all the Google files as in his office. So now think that how is going to be relevant or irrelevant things is going to be happening in the world. So another one is a multiple clients concurrently appending to a single file. This is the most important. This is the most important. For example, we have one application. Is that one application is going to be currently using by only one user currently? For example, even if we are going to be talk about Zoom, is that all the whole world I'm going to be use the Zoom is to teach the class for you at this particular moment, at this particular time. No, not yet. But once the Zoom administrator or something, Zoom authority person, Zoom CEO, he can check in this particular time how many persons are using this. Simply, if the something is streaming, live streaming is going to be happen in between you and me. This data is going to be stored. So if I want to store in cloud, I can definitely they can take into the data into a cloud, can store in a Google. Even if I am not storing anything also, instead of making my video or my PPT to view to in your hand, definitely there needs something data to be stored. Something data to be stored. So that's why the multiple persons, the multiple clients is going to be appending, that is adding a data concurrently. So with the producer, consumer use and many ways merging. Simple in a subject wise they are going to be producer, consumer. These are the typical workloads on this. So this is about our Google file system. So I will give 1 minute time. Now it is 1:41. I will give 1 minute time. Please draw it fastly because the next class onwards we are going to be talking about this. From the next slide onwards we are going to be talking about this terminologies in order to remember what is a Google File System Master, what is chunk server, what is application, what is a Google File System Client. So we need to remember these words. At least we have something like a black diagram. No need to another lines and boxes. Just we can simply note down, because next time onwards we are going to be talking about these terminologies. Once if I said where is the Google master, if I said the master, what is going to be happen? Where it is, where we want to see. So we want to see in your book. I cannot move front and back each and every time. So in this we have a number 30. Okay, switch off your video. You need a video on. So Google File System Client and one client. See that we have a different. First of all, we need to say about we have one thick line and a thin line. That is a dark black line and small. So one line refers to the control message, another one is about data message. See that the first client is going to be request or something is going to be changed with the server. Server we have multiple databases there. It is not only one server, we have multiple servers. Once the server is getting the data, is going to be sent the control message to Google File System Master. What is here? Observe the file namespace. Can anyone say that what is a namespace? It's a very familiar concept, a familiar task. What is the concept of namespace? File namespace. See that it is again a tree structure. It is going to be like a tree structure, hierarchical way you have. So it is going to be checked whether our, for example, the client is searching for something. Is going to be handled, chunk is going to be handled, and something bytes is going to be sent. Through the chunk server is going to be checked whether it is available or not. So at least you can see these slashes, and at least you can say that what is the namespace. So what is it? It is, for example, we are searching something for this. It is going to be hierarchical way. It is going to be again. It is going to be checking some stacks, whatever it may be, data files, or we were talking about in operating system file concept, page concepts is there. The same page concepts. Okay. If it is not available, it is going to be transferred to another file. It is whether it is going to be request, it is going to be. So this master file is going to be communicate with all other chunk servers up to the data or something is read by the client. If something is writing to the server, when it is going to be transferred to this Google something master file master. Then it is going to be transferred to all other servers. In any way the server is going to be find this data, then it is going to be transferred. See that again the thick block line, the chunks data. The data is going to be transferred to the client. Sometimes it is going to be servers, sometimes you may have direct GPS master also. Here we have irrelevant search. It has a relevant search. Direct we have a file name and check index. So without index, we are going to be directly search. We have some index window we are going to be search. That is a different. So we know the points where it is available. For simple example, we know direct. How many of them using a direct websites to access? For example, www.google.com. Like the way, how many people are going to use the similar all the access? Which are the websites are you going to be browsing daily way? How many of them using a direct web? How simply www.google.com? The similar way, how many of them using a direct websites by typing like that? Very less. Simply, if you don't know, simply we are going to type in Google search bar, then definitely they are giving some multiple website links. So through that we are going to be select one and we are going to be proceed with it. Got an idea? So how we do? If you know the particular thing, how we are going to do. So that's why we have different types of domains are there. No? Have you heard the name domain? Again, you know the domain. What is domain name services are there? No? He said now itself we have a Google www.google.com. What is com? It's a commercial. Maybe we can use .in, .uk, .us. We have various domain name services. So like that. So please be remember for these diagram for one or two classes, because your next one or two classes we are going to be discussing this Google file system. So what is this Google file system is? So the Google file system is a scalable distributed file system for a large distributed data. So what is the distributed? Distributed. What is this distributed? So we have the data. The data is not going to be for one person. So Google is created data for only for one user, for a one company, or a one particular part of the peoples. No, it is distributed for all the peoples. The distributed data in intensive applications indeed provides the fault tolerance while running an inexpensive commodity hardware, and it delivers the high aggregate performance to a large number of clients. This is a very important. The large number of clients is going to be get the benefited with a single server. That is with a single data. So with a single file system, a large number of people are going to be access this. Then Google File System provides a familiar file system interface through its does not implement the standard APIs such as PostX. Files are organized hierarchically. So in the diagram itself I mentioned, we have some tree structure, hierarchical structure I said, that is a hierarchical in the directories and identify the paths. What is this path name? Can anyone say that what is this path name? How to identify? For example, simple. I will show you one thing. So simple, for example, by this I am going to be start my presentation by today. So with one small example of how it will be the directories. I will show that and I will start my class. So directories, for example, see that. So directories means how, for example, I have one small thing. So for example, see that. Can you see my screen? So I have my favorite desktop and we are seeing now. For example, I am clicking here. For example, I am clicking program files. For example, clicking here. For example, program files, Microsoft.NET. So see this. What is this? This is the path. This is you can call C is a main directory where I have a program files slash. So I told you by seeing in the diagram we have now FOO slash some data files. Same we have a primary files. So finally we have a data. So we have a number of directories. Through the directories we are going to be. So these are the directories. So the directory path means. Same way in we are searching in Google also. What we are going to be searching Google. For example, we have a Google. See this. For example, see this. We have a URL bar. What is going to be? So 1 second, sir. Is the time. Okay, sir. You can give the attendance if you want. Yes, sir. Sir, tell me, sir, Manas sir. So I think everyone know this.
చల్లగారు ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, అదే మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్కి వెళ్ళాలి కదా అని చెప్పి.
Okay, sir. I am going to be stopping.